investors, it's Breanne again with Cassandra, and she actually wants to flip the script on me. And instead of me interviewing her, I think you had a couple questions
Yes,
for me.
I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, shoot.
So Breanne, when I sent you this property, why did you love it? What were a few things that you didn't like about it? And then what are your plans for the property?
Okay. Well, immediately I knew I was going to look at this property very closely because it is in one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods, which is Hollywood Park. When I first started flipping, I have a running group, and like all the time, almost every Saturday, we come running through this neighborhood.
Yeah, I need to run with you because I need this body over here.
And as I'm running through the neighborhood, I'm like, this is such a cool neighborhood. You get a really eclectic feel. It's an older neighborhood, but there's anywhere from a very simple 1950s ranch style house all the way up to a several multi-million-dollar mini mansion type of thing, like really beautiful homes. And I was like, one of these days I'm going to take one of those small simple houses and I'm going to turn it into that thing. And so when you sent me this property, I was like, ooh, Hollywood Park, I'm excited. I promised myself I was going to do a house in this neighborhood someday. And so I'm like, I was really hoping the numbers.
So I was just your little angel.
You sent me like a little magic fairy dust house down from the heavens.
Love it.
But I don't remember what price you sent it to me originally. I think they were hoping for it was like no, it was higher. It was almost 400 is what they were wanting to. It was like
I look at numbers all day, every day.
390. So I know it's hard to remember.
I think it was 380.
I want to say it was like 380.
385.
It was in the upper threes.
Upper threes.
And so I was like, okay, that seems like a little bit more than for the size of the house that it would work, but let me figure it out. And I ran the numbers, and you had suggested that I could sell it for, gosh, now my number's all back. 600?
600.
About 600. I was like, well, if it's going to resell for 600, there's no way I can pick it up for almost 400 and still make a spread, especially since I know I'm going to be putting at least 100,000 into renovating a house this size to really make it special. I mean, we're going high-end finishes. So I was like, well, that's definitely not going to work. I already knew that right off the top of my head. So I'm going through my calculator and I'm making an estimate on everything. And I go into a lot of detail as I'm analyzing it. Like I put in how much are the property taxes, because I'm going to be paying half of those for the time that I'm holding it. What is my insurance? What are all my holding costs? What are my lender fees? And those are some of the hidden costs that a lot of investors don't factor into it.
Newer investors.
And those are the costs that really make or break a deal. So anyway, so what I loved about this house was the neighborhood. What I didn't love about the house was the initial purchase price. So I do what I always do, and I tell you, like, if I want a property, I will give you a price. And so I ran it through the calculator and I said, there's no way I can do that price, but what I could do is 360. And I believe you're like, I don't know. Let's see.
Yeah.
And so
my negotiation skills.
With some mad negotiation skills, you came back to me later and you said 360. And that's always the moment where I'm like, okay, did I do my numbers right? Like I'm like, okay, double check everything. It took a couple of days. It did take a couple of days. I'm like, I really needed to make sure that I wasn't overshooting, right? Because that's how you get bit.
I'm saying the price. Whenever we agreed and you were like, okay, I could do 360. I said, okay, let me see what I can do. But it took a couple of days for me to negotiate and get it.
Oh, right. Yeah. It took a couple of days to get the seller on board, right? So anyway, when you said, okay, 360, I said, oh crap.
Shoot.
Now I got to make this happen. So I called up some of the investors that have worked with me before, and I'm trying to find out if somebody's got money that they're ready to put to work. I literally texted, I think, 8 of my favorite investors
Hey guys.
Hey guys. And within like 15, 20 minutes, one of them, who I was just about to refinance out, she's like, yeah, I'm in. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. So
to shout out to you.
Shout out to Norma. Hey, girl.
I have more deals, guys.
They're coming. So she jumped on it, and I was like, all right, we got the money. I'm pretty confident in the price. But I didn't want to just do a basic renovation on this house because of the neighborhood. And I knew that the cost of construction was lower than the resale value of per square foot to sell it.
Yeah.
And I knew there was a really good chance if I did a beautiful job and added some square footage and made this house everything that it should be, that I could sell it for way more than $600. So it took me a couple of days to redo the budget, to meet with my contractor, and to make sure that my budget was realistic, which delayed closing. That was, I will say, that was on me. It was on me.
Hey, but you have your plan now. So
we have our plan. The lender approved it. It's already, been pre-approved at that price. So we've got a game plan, and we're not just doing a renovation. We're adding a second story.
When she told me that, I was like, okay, girl. Okay.
And so we're gonna take out about 450 square feet of the converted garage and put it back into a garage.
Brilliant.
I'm not buying an $800,000 house without a garage. I'm sorry, I'm not, especially not in a really nice neighborhood. And we're going to add 1,000 square feet upstairs. So we're still going to have a full size, really nice, beautiful house, have a garage. I didn't want to expand back because what people love about this neighborhood are the large lots. And this was already one of the smaller lots in the neighborhood, which I knew I was constrained on my resale value because of the lot size. So I really had to be very mindful. Very demure. Very cutesy. Mindful, very cutesy. I had to be very mindful about not eating into the size of the lot at all.
Yeah.
So that's the plan.
We have a master plan, and we're going to kill it. I cannot wait to see the transformation.
Yes. So, So rough numbers, picked it up for $360. I'm going to be putting in $200 to $220 on it, and I'm hoping to resell it for $8, which sounds really impressive. But I've got a lot of lender fees, insurance. I'm paying my realtor a lot of money to sell this thing for me for top dollar. And of course, closing costs on both ends. And I can't preach enough to investors out there that you have to factor in your holding costs. Because not only is it costing me about $7,000 a month just to own this property, but I'm also tons of closing costs on the back end by the time you do realtor fees, and I'm usually giving some kind of concession and stuff like that to get it sold. So
with that being said, stay tuned because it's going to be an amazing transformation.
Yes.
And we are going to have an event and a mixer and all kinds of stuff planned for this project.
Okay, so now it's official because this is going on Instagram.
Oh, it's official.
So party here.
We are going to have a party. We got to show it off.
It could be like New Year's at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm hoping to be done end of December. Yeah. That's my hope.
We're going to party it up here.
We're going to have to party it up
here. I have to celebrate this huge renovation.
Yes. So stay tuned. We'll see if we can get a party happening. And yeah, thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
All right.